Bam. Here I am. I cannot hear myself though. Interesting enough. I'm going to go grab different headphones to see how this goes. See who comes in the room. Yo. Hold on a sec. I'm getting put in here. There we go. Hopefully that works. Can you guys hear me okay? I can't tell. There's no audio on this. See, this is so weird. There's no music. I'm doing it with the stream. Doing with the StreamYard. You guys, this is going to be a crazy show. It has the potential to be a crazy show. I put the link out there to everyone. That's right. When I say everyone, I mean I posted it on Instagram. I posted it on Twitter. I even posted it on Facebook. I'll post it right now in the comments section too. It's in our description. But if you just hopped on, I was watching Doug Ernst. I don't know who that is. But if you guys, anybody wants to join in on the show, I'm very happy to have some convos with you. I'm also going to figure out how to share the screen and be able to draw on this. StreamYard doesn't allow for clips except for a 3 megabyte clip, and a lot of people are using them as overlays. They're using them in a way to do like an intro for their show. So what's probably going to happen is I'm probably going to find out the version that I've already got with Switcher, because I like the fact that I can bust those clips in there. Do you guys like last night's show? I thought it was really good. In fact, I've put out a few feelers to some of my comic book pals and let them know that I'd like to have them on the show. Also, hoping that that they'll surprise us. I told them feel free to surprise, and I send them the link. Who's gonna jump in? What up, Louis Vaughn Jr.? How are you, man? Who wants to jump in and talk shop? Because I'm down to do it. Today was a busy day. I worked a bit on Doom Patrol in the morning, and then what up, dudes? What up to the dudes? Yeah, I've been working hard and finishing up some stuff. Working on legacies as well. Working on He-Man. It's a busy time, but I'm happy to be here. I've got the eye of the tiger, or eyes of the tiger. Am I pointing it right? Biggie. What's up, Ethan Skates? How are you, man? How are you? I'm gonna post this link again. Are you guys brave enough to join in and let's just talk shop? Because this is the place where you can ask any question and get an answer, which is really the chief aim, right? Rooster Puncher, I think you should jump in. So, what is the great fun comic that came out today? Today was comic book day, wasn't it? I wasn't able to go. Who went to the comic book store? Who picked up a comic? I'd like to know. Some days I feel like I'm inside of a vacuum, and there's no way to tell what came out. And sometimes I have to ask my local shop, and they're really good about it. Uh, so the books I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to Spawn 302. Like seeing what good old Todd and crew are up to. Looking forward to the new Absolute Carnage when it comes out. I think the last one is supposed to be coming soon. And in 2 weeks, kind of crazy to think about, in 2 weeks, I've got He-Man Masters of the Universes coming out, the very first issue, written by the man Tim Seeley, inked by Rich Friend. Rich Friend inked 7 pages in the first issue and then becomes the regular inker starting with issue 2. Um, I might even have a button contest for you guys if you know which pages I inked versus which pages he inked. Anybody to get them correct or get the closest gets a button. I want to congratulate. I'm not sure if he's in the house yet, but what up, Donnie Thumbfist? Yo, why does your lighting setup look like you're in a strip club? Show us your tits. My tits are the eyes of the tiger, man. See, right here and here. And uh, yeah. So I want to give a shout out to button number 2 is going out tomorrow to Mr. Chauncey Blakely. He did yesterday's challenge of dropping 3 Fragabooms and sending me screenshots. What up, Matt Cisco? How are you, sir? Oh, that's right. I could tap these things. Look at that. Boom. That's what's up right there, man. Oh, chilling with your kid. Yeah, I like hanging out with my kids when I can. It's the best. What up, Andrew J? Donnie Thumb and Fist is hypnotized. Donnie, do you want to be on the show? You're more than welcome to. I'll post the link right here. And as you guys can see, once it's in there, all you got to do is click on that link, and you're in the show. You say I want to be in. I see you, and I drop you in the room, and next thing you know, we're talking comics. So anybody that wants to jump in is more than welcome to. If not, you're gonna listen to me go Han Solo and talk about some crazy things. Um, like we were saying yesterday, talking to Art to Bear, uh, the mind is a funny thing. The things that we remember and the things we don't. And the fact that he brought up Cow Palace, I hadn't thought about that show. I think it's probably. Oh, look, Mike Green's in the house. I haven't thought of that show for a long time, and I think the reason I forgot everything else is the fact that Bern Hogarth, master anatomy teacher, drew all over my original samples, making my samples basically void and null. I couldn't show them after he touched them. Mike Green, what's up, dude? I can't hear any sound. Oh, you're on the. You got that crazy connection. It looks like you're in the car. You got a suit on, dude. Looking all proper. Looking good, man. There's always room for Fragaboom. Yeah, don't you know? Don't you know? Look at that third eye. That's cool. I can't see your icons as well as I can when I highlight them like that. What's up, Mr. Green? Um, Couch Doodles, did you get my message on Facebook? I sent like 5 screenshots. You know what, Rodwell? Let me pull that up because if we're not Facebook friends, which I just realized, those messages they don't go to the regular box. Let me go grab um, my iPad behind me and take a look at the messages because if that's the case, sir, you are number 3. I'm going to go validate this. Give me a moment. Here we are back in the captain's chat. Let's see what we got here. You know how it is with Facebook and they're putting messages in other, which is kind of a pain in the ass if you ask me. If you pain in the ask me, Facebook Messenger. Bow. Let's take a look. This is weird. It's like showing it so full screen that I can't even see the whole screen. Let me try this again. I think technical difficulties are a lot of fun. I feel like for at least for this show, they've made it so we could see a lot of really fun, what I call lemonade happening. The lemons get served, and we say, "Yeah, let's go for lemonade." Oh, look at that! You were in filtered messages. See that? Filtered. So let's take a look. Rodwell sent 5 photos. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yep. There's one. There's another. There's another. There's another. Let's see. Yep, there it is. There's one. You have one with Edwin and Mike and Edwin. Edwin's awesome. That look. That's a funny look. Uh, he's got the greatest voice. Have you? I mean, anybody that's ever watched Edwin, they know he sounds like Sam Elliott. Rodwell, do me a favor and send me. I'm gonna put the address question mark. Boom. So that hopefully that sends me over. Look, we have someone in the chat. Ben L. Looks like a is that Badger? Is that a Badger icon I
Hell
see?
yeah, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, dude. Welcome to the show.
Hey, yeah, no, Badger's awesome.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen that character in a long time.
Yeah, my dad used to collect comics. He was stationed over in Germany for a
Yeah,
while, and Badger's one of his favorite characters. So he's part of the reason I got into reading comics. Back
that's
then.
awesome.
So,
What are you up to tonight? Where are you calling in from?
Upper Michigan, just up
Awesome.
near Canada, Marquette,
Oh
Michigan,
yeah, that's right.
up north.
Oh yeah. What's are you guys icing up yet?
Oh yeah, it's dropping down pretty quick. I mean, we're hitting 30s and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we've had snow the last couple weeks.
Snow. My
Hell yeah.
goodness. My goodness. I'm in Atlanta, or well, Georgia, really close to Atlanta, and it was weird. Halloween was the weirdest day I've ever experienced. It went from 70 to 30 in a matter of 5 hours. And it was like somebody hit a switch. Let's see. Let me see what Donnie Thumb and Fist has to say. Gonna have another night for me. I'm waiting for 6 milligrams of melatonin to kick in. You don't want that sleep drunkenness on stream, or do I? Uh, my kids take the kid melatonin to help them sleep. So, and
It's good
I've had
stuff.
it myself. I've had it myself. I use winatonin and barotonin, usually, and whiskey tonin. Those usually help out as well.
The old wombo combo. If it works, it works.
Yeah, yeah, Wabo. There you go. That's some crazy tequila. Looks like Rodwell sent his address. Rodwell is button number 3. So Chauncey is button number 2. Rodwell is button number 3. Mike Green, I don't know if you know you're in the chat, my bro. Do you? Because you got no sound. 0 sound. What is harp switch? What is that? Is that a kind of libation or beverage? I don't know. So Ben, what comics do you pick up lately, or what are your favorites?
I've been reading a lot of CG stuff. I just got Cyber Frog, which is phenomenal. That was one of the best comics I ever read. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
it's impressive.
it
It's very
that was a
impressive.
masterpiece. I'm waiting on some other stuff. I got
Yeah.
Mike S. Miller. I just ordered one of his comics. Looked pretty good. I got Graveyard Shift coming. Monster MD. Mainstream comics, off and off. I just actually ordered your Masters of the Multiverse,
Awesome.
which is coming in.
Yeah,
Next bolt.
I'm stoked about that. I have the first and second issue in color. Let me see if I can share a couple pages of it on the stream. Give me a second.
All right. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It looks really fun.
It's a lot of fun. Tim Seeley knows how to write a really great yarn. He gives that 90s feel without it being completely 90s. Because some of the 90s stuff, this is one of the things I learned about nostalgia. Because I grew up in the 70s and 80s, so
Yeah.
my sweet spot is like GI Joe, Voltron, Star Blazers, the Transformers and that kind of stuff. And a few years back, I was at a convention and they had a bunch of like bootlegs, And when I say a few years back, I mean before it was even available to buy. And so I picked them up and I put them in the DVD player, and I was very surprised at how much I didn't like the stuff I used to love, and it was because it just didn't hold up. So my point with Tim Seeley is he manages to grab the spirit of the '90s comics,
Okay. But
but
leave that 90s, the craziness of it, just a little toned down a little bit.
he tones it down a little bit, but he makes things make sense. You know,
Mhm.
I look back at some of the stuff I've written in the past, and I know what I mean when I wrote it, but reading it now, 25 years later, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a hot mess. You know, but I mean, I guess sometimes we can be difficult on our own work. Let me see if I can pull this
The
up.
Mr. Mobius, yeah, Cyberfrog took a little while, but it is well worth the wait. Like honestly, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, amen. All right, I'm gonna be able to share. I'm gonna go share this screen over here. Let's see, where is it at? Share screen. Click. Share screen. Which one? This one. And then we're gonna. There it is. So this is page one of Motu.
The
Uh,
colors are phenomenal.
that's
Who's the
Mr. Matt Yackey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was here. He was here yesterday. He was running the board. Yeah, so Matt is a longtime collaborator. He and I have been working together for almost, well, now 20 years. So
Okay.
he's colored a lot of my projects. Here we got the big I have the power moment. Um, they haven't shared some of the other pages. You might be able to see small bits of it. Let me see if I can share anything from two. Let's see some fun stuff with issue two. Let's see let's see if I can see one of my favorite pages. Are you familiar at all with the new adventures of He-Man?
No, okay, so yeah, the thing is, I just got back into comics,
Yeah,
about less than half a year ago. I read them as a kid. I read a lot of like, Batman and older '80s stuff. That's what I collected mostly. So
yeah.
this is all new stuff for me, but the art looks phenomenal. I listened to your show and you seem like an awesome guy, and I'm pretty excited. So this looks fun. So no, I'm not familiar.
Thank you for the kind words, man. Let's see. I've got to get over here. I see that Leg Kick is in the house. We're gonna bring him in. Boom. What is
What's
up,
up,
Mr.
guys?
Leg Kick? How are you, dude?
Not too bad. Just got done working.
Excellent. So your shift is variable then. Sometimes you have sometimes you go later than usual, and sometimes you're off relatively early.
No, basically what happens is that you get a particular job, and then when you finish, you're done. They don't
Okay.
care after that. So I work 3 to
Yeah.
11:30. Yep.
Okay. That's pretty awesome.
So
I wish
usually
mine
I
worked that
listen to
way.
podcasts and stuff.
Yeah. My job kind of works that way, but kind of doesn't. Uh,
Yeah.
I think, it just feels like the work is never done. That's one
True.
of the crazy things. But at least I can say it's work that I enjoy doing. I want to show you guys some Doom Patrol from season one, uh, because some season one stuff I'm allowed to show because it's already aired and all that stuff.
Yeah, how was
Uh,
that? I never got a chance to watch it.
it's a really fun show.
Okay.
Like, so this is the level of storyboards that I do when I do boards for TV shows like Doom Patrol. So this was a scene with a character called Beard Hunter. Let me see here. Oh, this preview is different than the preview on the other operating system. But see, he comes through the door. He he goes and he puts it. He gets his little snake out. He goes and he snakes a bunch of nasty hair out of the drain, and then he eats it because he's like Rogue,
Okay.
except he has to eat their hair, and usually he finds the best ones in sink drains. So this was one of those episodes, and then there was an episode that I had done. I think it was episode 12, and I remember when I read it, when I read the script, I said, is this what I think it says? Uh, there is an army of butts, okay, like sentient butts, And here's what that sequence looks like. Let me see how I can hide sidebar. There we go. That should be better so we can see it. So we start off with Doom Patrol walking through a hallway. They come around. They're greeted by some heavy government types with their machine guns. They have a little bit of talking, talk. A scientist comes through and says they're loose, they're loose. The butts are loose. And then they turn, and the guy's like, "Oh my god!" And you see this tidal wave. I want to make this extra big so you can see what it is that I drew. And let me see. How do I make a hand on here? This is weird because back in the other version of previews, you could do a little hand and scroll with it, but this one is not allowing me to do that, which is no fun. Let's see if I can go back a page. There we go. So what's your favorite comic of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
I had to pick one. That's...
I can answer it. Mine's Dark Knight. Yeah, mine's Dark Knight.
I actually just finished reading that for the first time last week. I never read it before, and it was mind-blowing. The writing was awesome. You know, the art style sketchy, definitely really different than what you see.
Which one did you read? Did you read the one that came out in '86 or the one that came out in like 2001?
2001, 2002.
Okay. You need to go back
to
the '86 one. I'm not talking about that one. That one's great, but I'm talking about Dark Knight Returns. I'm talking about the 1986 one, and that one will change your life. Because as soon as you said the artwork was scratchy, I was like, oh, I think he means the other one. So here you have an army of butts coming through, and then this butt attacks. So this is the fun that I get to do when I do this show. That they say things. They say things sometimes where I'm just like, I can't believe I get to draw that. I get to draw.
I hope you didn't have to go Google that and go look up study material. Your search history would suck so bad.
My search history is actually a crazy search history. That would be a funny one. Share your search history. What up, Skits Comics? Skits Comics, thank you for the kind words. I'm enjoying doing the stream, and having you guys be a part of it. I'm trying out new things, as you can see. Today's thing. Oh, look, we got a new guy. Ashish, how are you, man? Welcome.
How are you, man? How are you?
Hey, am I saying your name correctly?
Yeah, you're saying my name correctly.
Awesome. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from India.
You're in India?
Yeah.
Well, welcome, man. That's amazing. What time is it there? Is it about 6 in the morning?
No, it's 7:50.
7:50? How is it 7:50?
7:50 a.m.
I know, but how do you have an extra? You have an extra 30 minutes. Is that something that happens in India?
Because I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, no, that's bizarre because it's 9:24 here, and I always thought that the hour shifted by hour, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know where the time zone would shift like that. I guess
that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
More importantly, what part of India down there? Sorry.
What part of India do you live in?
I live in Mumbai.
Mumbai, awesome.
Yeah.
That's a big area. Are you a comic book reader?
Yeah, I'm a comic book reader.
Who's your favorite comic book creator right now?
So comic book creator, I'm not sure. Mostly I'm more lean on mangas and all that.
Oh.
But I usually like coloring artists. Like there's one Alessandro. I'm not exactly aware of his name. Usually colors the comic really well, so I like his work. I like your
Yeah.
work. You do freehand
Oh,
work.
thank you.
I like that.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a really good time doing it. Uh, I explain to people that it began as an exercise because the very first time I had seen it was in late 2012 by a guy named Jung Gi. People know
Yeah, I
him as
follow
Kim.
him as well. He
Yeah.
also does really cool stuff.
Oh, he does the coolest of cool stuff. He's
Yeah.
great. Uh, and the very first time I'd seen his work, I was bewildered because at that point I'd been drawing comic books for more than 20 years, and as a professional, and you feel like you have a grasp of things. And I remember seeing that and just being completely baffled. And what I did is after I was done with all the 7 steps of whatever they call it, disbelief, that he must be doing a trick, all those things. I came to realize, no, he's talented, and is coming from a different mindset. So what
Yeah.
I did is I internalized and said, what is it that's stopping me from doing this? And step by step, I had attacked them, and was able to do what you see on Couch Doodles. And for me, when I do those, it opens up a part of my brain that I don't use all the time. I wish I could all the time, and that's like, I think what we do every day is we try to at least. I've mentioned it, but on other shows, it's called Kanai, constant and never-ending improvement. Right? If you see a goal or a destination you want to achieve, and you work towards it, just try to be your best. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Probably I will end up the same way as you and Kim did.
Yeah,
I'm also practicing free, but yeah,
that's good.
I'm too low on that level. I'll keep
Why?
practicing.
There's no such thing. I have a an 8 month old, right? And my son said to me, "Dad, she doesn't know what you're saying." And I said, I think at a certain point, babies do know what you're saying, but they don't know how to control or talk yet, but they're
Yeah.
starting to absorb meaning. And then it made me think about any skill that we take on. When we first start, we're like babies. We can't even, like, think about a baby that can't walk or talk or whatever. And we're so amazed at the fact that they walk, you know? Well, the first time they walk, oh my gosh, they're walking, even though we see walking every day. We see it every day, but that first time, and we need to be like that with our own creative growth. Is each step, celebrate it, and keep going. And look, and sure, you could be surrounded by things of people, like taking the walking analogy. There are world record runners and sprinters and jumpers, and if you said, "Oh, I shouldn't walk. I'll never run or
You
jump
should
like
just
that
keep
person."
practicing. Yeah.
Yeah, then you're not going to walk. But if you celebrate each victory every day, you're going to have gratitude and be so happy.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to put
That's
it. I coached swimming, right? And I coached an age group
oh
younger, like 12 to 11 to 12, like middle school. And I was kind
yeah,
of explaining that concept. They were looking at older kids and they're watching these kids swim, and they're like, I want to be so fast. I can't swim more than X amount in, X time. They're like, how do I get so fast? I'm like, well, everybody starts somewhere. They started the same level as you did, you know.
that's right.
Jim Lee started off drawing squiggles at some point, Dan
Yeah.
That's
Fragga
right.
started off drawing square.
What's the name of the
It's
gentleman above me, Dan? Benny?
Ben L.
Ben L. Okay. I
Yeah,
want to make sure I
yeah,
called you by the right name, Ben.
Yeah, you
yeah.
doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, I want to welcome everybody in the boom box, aka the dudes. Anish, we have a name for the people that are hanging out in the comments section. They're called the dudes. DOODZ. They took the word doodles and said we're the dudes. And that zone, when you're hanging out in there, you're in the Fragaboom box. So how often in the people that are in the stream right now with Ben and Leg Kick and Anish, how many of you are creative, and how often do you express your creativity?
I probably do it every weekend
Yeah.
myself. Yeah. Yeah. I usually try to do something on Saturday and Sunday nights, and I usually sit down, either write or draw. So
What's your favorite subject matter to draw?
Favorite subject matter to draw is old school Marvel heroes. I love that
Right
stuff.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you asked before what's your favorite Marvel comic or comic book story. I would have to
Yeah.
say Death of Captain Marvel by Jim Starlin.
Wow. What
Yep,
was that? 81, 82?
82. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that is when it's funny because a lot of times the term old school it gets thrown around, but what I found is it's like completely subjective. And
yeah.
the way I found that out is listening to oldies stations. I always used to listen to the oldies station with my grandfather,
Oh
and it would
yeah,
be like, you know, Glenn Miller and his band, and Buddy Rich, and that was the oldies. And then suddenly they're starting to play like Elvis, and then they're playing the Beatles, and then they're playing the Eagles, and then they're playing Bon Jovi, and I'm like, well, wait a second, you
yeah,
know,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bon Jovi's
Yeah,
old school.
yeah.
slow down,
Sure.
and then when they go, this is old school. So old school being subjective, like I've had people call me old school, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm not old school. But then I think about, oh no, wait a second, that was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but I'm in the same boat with you. When I think of old school, I think of like probably like 79 to 89.
Yeah,
That's what I think of
yeah,
is that I don't know what they call that, golden age or whatever. Matt
yeah. I
Cisco
heard you.
says Matt Cisco is saying, I enjoy writing, but never put my ideas to paper. Where do you put your ideas, Matt? Do you put them on on tape recorder? Do you just keep them memorized? I think we lost Anish.
Yeah,
Anish, thank you for joining, buddy. It was very cool to have someone from the other hemisphere. Holy goodness, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty
good to meet
awesome.
you.
Yeah. Ben L, do you draw?
Yeah. Actually, I just got into drawing. It's been a good creative outlet. I'm going through school. I'm finishing up school to become going to law enforcement. So
Awesome.
between coaching and school, I try to draw, once, twice a night, at least to get something down. Just to
What
improve.
what is your typical routine?
Typical routine. I'm superheroes. I love comics. Typical routine. I try to start with a warm up, just something just to get the hands warmed up, the mind warmed up. Just a random sketch, doodle, something, just
Yeah,
to get moving. Just
yeah,
like any sport, any activity. And then
sure.
I try to take something and just try to work on something. Like this time, I'm going to work on arms or leg proportions, or work on head shape or whatnot. It's just to slowly
Yeah,
start putting anything together. It's fun. It keeps my mind busy.
that's
Yeah,
great. I do that with sculpting.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I try faces and torsos and arms, and eventually I'll put them all together, like some freakish Frankenstein thing. And then I find once I learn how the parts work, then I try to learn about the interactions. Especially because if you think of the human body almost like a Rube Goldberg machine, how each thing affects each thing. Like if you push your arm forward, your collarbone goes in,
Mhm.
but it also pushes your scapula out. So if you go like this, you get this shape on your scapula, but if you go back like this and pull your shoulders back, your scapula does this. Or if you move forward, it changes the shape of the pectoral in relation to the shoulder. So it's like you learn the parts, you learn where they go, you learn the proportions, but then you learn the interactions as far as the mechanics of things. And it's fun. It feels like, for me at least, learning it feels like a never-ending rabbit hole.
yeah.
Every time you think you know something, something else goes, you don't know shit. And I like that. Like I remember last year, I realized, like, every now and then when I'd get to certain parts of drawing, I'd tense up, and I'd try to, like, I'm the kind of person that, like, tries to get to the bottom of things. Like, why is this happening? And I realized, for example, we take certain things for granted because of uh, of our observation. So we go, okay, I know how to draw a torso, I know how to draw a head, and the head goes on the shoulders and blah blah blah, and the neck is like a cylinder that you put the head on. But do you know neck anatomy? Like when someone does this or juts forward, what's happening in there? And I realized every time I'd get to that area, I'd fake it, I'd end up feeling tense, and I realized that the tenseness came from not knowing what I was doing. So learning how the neck works after working in comics for 25 years, for one, I felt a little silly, but for two, I felt exhilarated because you feel like you get to the end of the road, but there's no end.
Yeah, there's constant improvement.
That's right. What's
Yeah.
up, Jason Moore? Welcome, Ink Machine.
Hey,
Ink
Jason.
Machine Productions.
How you doing?
Let's see. Louis Vine Jr. says, I draw. I keep a sketchbook close and try to do quick sketches. I've also got a few tiny sketchbooks, like you and Kenneth Rockefort. I take one to work, so when I get an idea, I sketch it quickly. That is a very, very great idea. I have the name Couch Doodles, in fact, came from that idea. When Instagram first came out, there was a rumor going around that they owned everything you posted, that they could use it for anything they wanted to. And I got really upset, so I canceled my old account, which was called Fragaboom. Then the president of Instagram had said, "This is not true. In fact, you own this, blah blah blah." So I tried to get my account back, and I couldn't. So the reason I came up with Couch Doodles is because at that time, the place I drew the most was my couch. My wife had just had our baby, and so I kept a sketchbook there. I keep a sketchbook in my car. I keep a sketchbook in the kitchen. I take one in my wife's car. Thank God I don't call it Toilet Doodles, yeah, what happened to Anish? Show me Anish. I know what happened to him. I don't know. I think he just dipped out.
Maybe his Wi-Fi.
Don't know. I found that really strange. Unless he's a time traveler. What if he's a time traveler? Right? He's like, oh, it's 7:50 here. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, where did that? There's like a good 20, 30 minutes. Are they 30 minutes? Like, are they? What he said 7. So are they 10 hours and 30 minutes ahead? Like, that's the
I don't
question
know.
I have.
I have no clue. Because when you Google like India, right, for time, it's 8:07 for where I'm at.
Right. So there is an extra half hour.
I wonder if maybe his section of India, maybe their time zone difference is that.
But I didn't know about a time zone difference that isn't just different by hour,
Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm calling England for me is 6 hours from now. So it's 3:38 in the morning there. But the fact that India has that extra 4.5 hours, that's just crazy. Hashish happens, says Chris. When and where? The only place I've ever had hashish happen to me was Amsterdam. And it happened. Oh boy, it's the best time I ever forgot. And Ben L's like, I'm going into law enforcement.
I don't judge. It's getting legalized.
It's legal there. It's legal there. It's
He's going like Joe Jusko, huh?
Joe Jusko. Yeah, Joe's a great guy. He was an officer of the law as well. Joe. I've got a crazy story about Joe Jusko. Hopefully you guys are fans of Joe Jusko. He's an incredible painter. He's been painting since the late 70s. One of my very first signings that I'd ever done was in Las Vegas. It was in 1993. It was for the Silver Cactus Comics. And Joe and I were the guests. And the owner of the comic store took us to dinner, and he took us to this very fancy steakhouse where they had a 48-ounce porterhouse that if you ate it and the fixins, it was free. So
great outdoors.
Yeah. So both Jusko and I said, we kind of like looked at each other, kind of like, if you do it, I do it, and we were like, okay, fuck it, let's do it. And I was intent on beating him. He beat me time-wise, but we both did it. And I just remember just having the sweats afterwards because it wasn't the steak that did it. It was the baked potato. Like the steak, I felt like I powered through it, but the potato was pure pain.
Extra, yeah. It's up.
Yeah. Tolfer, let's see what you said. You said, I've thumbnailed about 22 pages and now I'm working on layouts. My first comic since junior high. Well, that is great to hear.
Cool.
That is great to hear. Unless you're going into high school, like, just got into high school, then it's your first comic since last year. But I'm getting that you're saying that because it's been a while. That's wonderful news. That is the kind of stuff I like to hear, especially on my channel. I'm all about motivation and getting you guys up and going. There are times, I was talking to my buddy today on the phone. I actually am going to get him on this show. He already agreed to come on. Not today. A guy named Kyle Holtz. Kyle is an amazing artist. He's over at DC right now, but you might know him from his many awesome Marvel covers. Yeah, we were talking about just the different ways we work, and sometimes when things get so busy, you don't have time to second guess. It's kind of like Art to Bear was saying last night, that you just put your head down and go. So it's crazy when you have the luxury of time. You have the luxury of indecision, and sometimes it's better when you're sitting inside a pot of boiling water and you got to dance. Yeah. Amsterdam 2004, best trip of life, says J. David 426. Yeah, man. Our trip was that one I was talking about was November of 2001, so it was right after 9/11 had happened, and High Times Magazine threw.
Oop.
Oh, we missed him.
That looks like he bounced.
It's probably his Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I've seen people drop in and out.
It's all
Are you
temperamental.
at work?
Me, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
There we are.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I got booted. I got booted out of my own stream. That's awesome. They heard me talking about Amsterdam and High Times. I said High Times.
Job out.
High Times Magazine. You're out. That's the last. What do they call that? Strike.
It's legal here.
Yeah, it's legal in California too. It was crazy. It was like going and getting a 6-pack of beer. It was the best.
Yeah,
Trevor. Oh, Trevor, what's up, man? Trevor, I work with Trevor on Legacies. He's my main contact, and there's Pam. I worked with Pam on Transporter 2. They're telling me to drop a rap. I'm not going to rap today because we're using a different format, and I don't have any way of bringing music in. It seemed to be the topic of the day today when I got into to visit Legacies today. The director said, the AD said, "Hey man, I really like your raps." I said, "How did you hear my raps?" And apparently the word has been spread. Let's see. Fans took over this stream. That is correct. Tonight's stream is about you guys and getting on the stream and being able to ask questions about creativity, workflow, how to get things done. If some of you guys were here for last night's stream, we had our guest Art to Bear on, and I put him through a series of questions that I ask all my guests. And eventually I'm going to sit down with myself via green screen and ask the same questions. She says, sing, dial her up. Okay, so dial her up. We had my buddy and I, really funny dude, back in 2008, before the world got really sensitive, when they had songs like Dick in a Box on SNL, and it was considered funny. Now people would be like, that's just crass.
The Lonely Island.
Yeah, Lonely Island. Yeah, that's just crass. We had a song called I'm a Love It, and we had another song called Dial Her Up, and it was euphemisms. I said, All right. Okay. Class is in session, so let's get this shit on the way. The first lesson, the art of dialing. Learn to do it right and watch the numbers pile in. It's a bit different than dialing up a pizza. You can use a mobile phone to get yourself a feature. All you got to do is hit the right connection with a finger or two thumbs if you're texting. But it was about finger banging. So it was all these phone euphemisms in regard to pleasuring your girl with your digits. Uh, if you lose connections, check the slot for change. Like there was
Oh, geez.
so many. Yeah, we
No.
just yeah.
Times have
So
changed a bit.
they have, and I remember I think I sent that to Pam like 11 years ago, and the other like a couple months ago I was over at the offices, and she's like, "Hey, check this out." And I was like, "Oh no, oh no." That's like the dark. Like I still am very proud of the production on those songs. I'm very proud of the lyrical playfulness, especially of "I'ma Love It," because we call that the rug pull song. It sounds like a dating song, and then it just goes into crass, horrible language. Uh, it's crazy.
But from a job hiring perspective point, yeah.
Yeah. I mean that, but the thing is it's like we had a saying. Uh, your coworker saw my drunken video of you rapping. That could be the case too. A couple weekends ago, Rooster Puncher and I were up in New Hampshire, and I went on stage with a live band, and I posted it. It's here in the channel. I posted it. It's weird when you get on stage. Like my back hurts most of the time because I'm an old man, but it's a weird thing. You get on stage and somehow the adrenaline makes your back pain go away, and you feel like you're a kid again. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, going back to the insensitive.
Oh, we losing?
There we are. There we
There
are. It
he's
looked like
back.
we were out for a second.
Yeah.
We're back. But when it comes to things, it seems funny to me that all throughout history there was ebb and flow of what is considered humor and what's not, and we used to be able to laugh at ourselves. I think making fun of people, like certain groups of people, is wrong. Like if you go out of your way to make fun of them, but
Being malicious about things. It's
yeah,
not.
being malicious. But like I was listening to some Richard Pryor the other day, and I was like, oh man, in 2019 you would be burned at the stake. And then I thought about, oh yeah, witch hunts. Witch hunts. Those existed. Those existed in America, and America's not that old. When I was over in France, my buddy's family's cottage was next to a church that was built in 900. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
That 900. We get the whole Plymouth Rock came in, or for 16 whatever 92. What was it? See, I don't even remember any 1492 Columbus, but that's all a lie. But anyway, everything in America is young, considering.
Oh yeah.
And we burn people at the stakes. We wouldn't let people with different pigment amounts hold hands. Like think about that. So I think what ends up happening is ebb and flow. Kevlar is asking if I am drawing tonight. You know what I'm going to do, guys? This is what I'm going to do. I definitely want to draw tonight. And in fact, I want to show you guys some videos from Hard Time. So what I'm going to do, and this is something I thought about at the 10 o'clock hour. So in 11 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to sign off for 3 minutes, and I'm going to re-up the stream with the other program so I can show you guys. I wanted to show you some of the animation from Hard Times and some of the animation that I had done on the Ricky Gervais show. And then from there, we'll jump into some drawing. I'm looking forward to that. So we've got another
Sounds
10
nice.
minutes of StreamYard where we're able to bring people in. If anybody in the chat room, like Trevor or Pam, want to join in, you guys can come in to the stream just by clicking on that link, adding your name, hitting OK, enabling your microphone and camera, and you're in this. I'm really surprised. In fact, I put it out. I think Anish came from Instagram. That's where I think he
Yeah.
came from, because I posted an Instagram story that if you swiped up, you would go here. So
Okay.
he might have been sort of surprised, like, oh shit, hey, that was real. I'm in Salem this weekend, right where we burn people at the stake. Spooky. Yeah, exactly. We burn people. That
Well,
girl
you know
knows
what?
math.
England did too.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah.
I'm
So
just saying, I'm
In
saying
the
as a
U.S.,
human
yes,
race.
not that long ago. We should
yeah.
Yeah.
remember the
No.
Boston Marathon in the '70s, like the '70s. Some of you guys were born back.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't it amazing that the last time that France used the guillotine was 1977 on the opening day of Star Wars?
That's
That I'm
shockingly
trying to
close.
think of. I'm trying to think of all the the details I can, like, or for jokes, and I'm sure I'll think of something. But
Well, you were
I
bringing
mean,
up. I'm sorry, Dan, but you were bringing up
no, go
about
ahead.
Richard Pryor and what he was saying.
Yeah,
Isn't it
yeah,
interesting to think about the fact that you have shows like South Park and Family Guy getting away with saying all the stuff that they do, whereas
yeah.
if an individual said it, then they'd be in trouble.
Look at Dave Chappelle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Dave Chappelle, he walks the line, and you get people on all sides talking one way or another. It's very polarizing, and I wonder where it stems from. I really
Yeah.
do, and I'm sure there's like people doing socio economic studies regarding where we're at as a culture, but it's really.
Definitely.
Matt Yackey says, "Come on, some people need a burning though." I would think that's a terrible, terrible way to go. I much rather freeze to death than burn to death.
Witches aren't people.
Rodney
Witches aren't
Dangerfield
people.
would say, "Talk about getting hot around the collar."
Yeah. I love him, man. I
He
love
was
the.
great.
What was the Back to School? That's like one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Like,
Caddyshack.
yeah, Caddyshack's great. My favorite part though of the Back to School, other than the triple Lindy dive,
Oh,
is
yeah.
the teacher gives him a bad grade because his paper on Kurt Vonnegut had no voice, and then he ain't calling it. Vonnegut says, "You wrote garbage."
How about when Sam Kinison was yelling at him?
Oh yeah, Sam Kinison. There's another one. There's another great that couldn't fly these days. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the 5-minute break a little early. If you guys want to come back, and
Sounds cool.
If this break is a bug for you guys, let me know. But it's a way of getting best of both worlds. I can't do what we're doing right now, having Ben L and Leg Kick here talking with me. I can't have guests like this with the current setup I have. But with this one, I can't share video. I can't draw. So I like sharing video and I like drawing. I like talking to people. So what we'll do is we'll take a 5-minute break.
All right.
And when we come back, we're going to have music, we're going to have videos, and we're going to have drawing.
That works.
So you guys,
awesome. I'm heading off to work,
guys.
so you guys have a phenomenal night. It was great meeting you both.
Great
Ben,
meeting you
thank
too,
you for
Ben.
joining, man. Really cool to have you on the show, man. Thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
All right, you
Take care.
too. All right, I'll be back.
All right, Dan. Take care.
Yeah.
I'll see you in a bit.
Sounds good, dude.
Bye.